Today we're going to show you how to use some of the vegetables that you harvest from your garden, namely Swiss chard. My family's favorite dish with Swiss chard is called the Swiss chard bake, which includes Swiss chard or spinach, eggs, and cheese. Notice here I have some spinach that I planted this early in the spring, but it is bolting and going to seed. But yet Swiss chard, which I planted this spring, is still growing strong. We could use this all summer, and that's what we're going to use for our dinner tonight. First, I'm going to harvest the Swiss chard. Basically, you're going to cut off or break off the largest leaves of the plant, and I need about 3/4 of a bushel. I'm cutting all the outer leaves, the largest leaves, and keep the center leaves because you want your plant to continue growing. Cut off the stems. The recipe calls for a pound of cooked spinach or Swiss chard, so I estimated 3/4 of a bushel will give you a pound of cooked Swiss chard. Now that I picked my Swiss chard, let's go into the kitchen and cook it. Now that I'm in the kitchen, I'm washing my Swiss chard in a nice cold water-filled sink. And what I do is I strip the leaves off of the large stems and put it in a colander. Keep on doing that until I get the whole sink full of Swiss chard cleaned. Over here, I have my stock pot filled with about 1/4 to 1/3 of water, and the water is boiling. And now I will put my Swiss chard in to boil for about 4 or 5 minutes until the leaves are dark green and wilted. It's been 5 minutes, and you see the Swiss chard is dark green and wilted. So I will bring it over to the sink to strain it in a colander without burning yourself. And while I have it in the colander, I like to take a pair of kitchen scissors and chop it up in smaller pieces. Now it's ready to use in our casserole. Okay, now we're going to mix our ingredients, and we have some delicious Swiss chard that was steamed and cut up, prepared and strained. We have ricotta cheese. We have some cheddar cheese, one stick, which is 1/2 pound of melted butter, 6 farm fresh eggs that are beaten, 6 tablespoons of flour, and if you're gluten-free, you can use tapioca flour or oat flour, something of that sort. And we are ready to mix this all in a large bowl. First, our ricotta cheese. We'll put it in a large mixing bowl. Then we will combine the cheddar cheese with that. That is 1/2 pound of grated cheddar cheese. To that, we will add 6 farm fresh eggs. And Jessica will mix that up. Mix that up until everything is combined. Then we will add 1 stick of melted butter. And someone asked me, is there a substitute for that? And I reply, I never tried the substitute, but I imagine light olive oil will do very well in this recipe. We have our Swiss chard, and we will add that. And now we add our flour, 6 tablespoons. Mix that well. And finally, any spices that you would like, or seasoning that you would like to add. We have a teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of onion powder, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. We will add that now. Now this recipe will go in this 9 by 12 pan, and it will serve approximately 12 people. So if you don't have that large a family, you don't want that much, just half the recipe. Okay, Jessica will pour it in. Okay. And spread it out nice and even. There we go. And our oven is preheated to 350 degrees. Bake this casserole for about 45 minutes or until it's, you can see it bubbly and golden brown on top. And here you are, an easy, delicious way to make Swiss chard for any meal of the day. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thank you.